Hello, hello. I'm going to do another Sunday Reads. Wow, this is like 2 Sundays in a row. It's like a trend. Yeah, I'm going to do Sunday Reads, sort of what I've been reading, what I'm reading now kind of thing. I'm not going to do the future reading thing because I promised that the last time and I was not able to deliver, and I doubt if I'd be able to deliver this time other than probably a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be reading this thing. So, start off by I finished Stoner by John Williams, a 1965 campus novel. Got nothing to do with drugs, all about kind of the very uh, a quiet life of John Stoner, who from the outside his life looks like a failure. And spoiler alert, it's a triumph. It is a triumph, and yeah, I'll be talking about that more in a individual review. Just needless to say, I really love the book. So what am I reading at the moment? I'm continuing on with The Black Company, which is very much, in a very non-derivative sort of way, is the idea of, hey, let's dig in with some soldiers, some mercenaries, the Black Company. It's been going for about 400 years, who work for all the wrong people, the so-called evil people, and very much told. This is 1984, a fantasy novel, first one in the series of the Black Company, which is very much told from the kind of the perspective of working soldiers. Our narrator, at least in this book, is Croker, who is the surgeon for the Black Company, also the historian of the company. He keeps the memories, he keeps all the stories of these people, and feels a real drive and need to like record these guys' stories. And they get up to really nasty stuff, which is unfortunately, that I think you have to say in a lot of ways that's what soldiers do. Soldiers doing their jobs. Maybe they're doing it for the right reasons. Maybe they're not. Maybe their no cause is just and noble, but they kill people for a living. And in this section, we've been the latest section. It's very much working for the lady, who is very much a dark lord, but is a dark lady. Indeed, she seems to have maybe disposed of her husband, who was the dominator, basically a dark lord, and has they participated in something that's basically sort of like turning someone into a Nazgul. If you're up with your Lord of the Rings, very much that kind of feel of taking somebody and breaking them and twisting them into something terrible and something that's absolutely loyal to her. And yeah, Croker and his compadres are part of this. And he was thinking, he had up until this point he had thought of the lady very kind of romantically, kind of writing kind of almost like little fantasy things of like, oh, she must be beautiful. And it's sort of one of these things of like, you have all this power. It's sort of semi kind of weirdly an aphrodisiac. But now that he's participated in something, has seen the lady for himself, and it's not pretty. We end up with this. I am a haunted man. I am haunted by the limper's screams. I am haunted by the lady's laughter. I am haunted by my suspicion that we are furthering the cause of something that deserves to be scrubbed from the face of the earth. I am haunted by the conviction that those bent upon the lady's eradication are little better than she. I am haunted by the clear knowledge that, in the end, evil always triumphs, which this is the kind of 1984. This is kind of early grim dark, and just that idea of like even the heroes are doing horrible, terrible things on the other side. Doesn't see them as actually any better than we on this side. Maybe that's a rationalization on Croker's part. I can definitely just see that as being kind of a reflection of times of like just 1984, of just like, oh, the good guys aren't any much better than the bad guys, and which are which. So yeah, I'm really enjoying The Black Company by Glen Cook at the moment. I also read a short story, The Husband Under the Bed, or Another Man's Wife by Fyodor Dostoevsky. It's an 1848 thing. I got it from a Gutenberg translation, it's a translation from Gutenberg, and it's really doesn't give me much information about who actually did the translation. It's very much kind of like uh, cringe comedy. Like this wouldn't be out of place like in a Ben Stiller thing or you know the English The Office. It's like it's got that kind of really uncomfortable kind of we're laughing at the character, we're feeling the character's discomfort. There's also just a horrible thing of a little dog getting strangled and nobody in the story caring about it, which is the thing that bothers me the most. Is this little Amishka, this poor little dog. This is yeah, it was written in 1848 by a 27-year-old Fyodor Dostoevsky. Another year later, he would get arrested for hanging around the wrong kind of writers group, getting sentenced to death. That sentence getting commuted to 4 years of prison camp in Siberia, and then another 6 years serving compulsorily in the military. So I wonder, I do wonder if this is sort of of this writer before and then this writer after. I've read The House of the Dead, which is a fictionalized account of his time in Siberian prison camp, and it's definitely there's a different. It feels like there's someone who had different experience there. The crinkling is coming from the little Havi who's enjoying himself. Also on audiobook, because I always have like ebook audiobooks and other things going. I'm listening to There by Tommy Orange, which is a 2018 novel with essays, with some essays mixed in, following 12 Native American characters in Oakland, California, kind of going through. We've had flashbacks to the occupation of Alcatraz, kind of a famous moment in kind of the activism in the Native North American kind of political movement, up to kind of more present day stuff of characters with kind of internet addiction. Another character who's has fetal alcohol syndrome, stuff like that. So there's a lot going on. A lot of stuff just sort of talking about the state of how things are right now. That like an epidemic of suicide because a lot of native young people not seeing freaking any reason to live, and just trying to say don't commit suicide isn't gonna get things. So yeah, it's a tough book. It's tough being as I think as certain one of the essays he talks about, like if you've never had to think about your history, chances are good that you are somebody who lives on a luxury cruise ship where you're served canapes all the time, that you haven't had to think about it because you're totally benefiting from it. You're not one of the people lost in the raging ocean below. You're up above it all, so you don't have to think about it. You don't have to think about all the roiling stuff that supports all this. So it's a good uncomfortable listen. And finally, if you clicked on my other video that I'm probably going to drop today, hopefully, the Booktube spin happened, and I was the book that of my 20 books that got selected by dice, because this is 2.5 where I just roll a dice, not a Rick McDonald, who is the official grand master of the Booktube spin, who spins a virtual wheel. This is a 2.5 kind of a filler in thing. I'm reading Constellation of Vital Phenomena by Anthony Marra, which is oh god, I don't even know what year it is, but fairly recent. It has a quote from the Booktube's favorite critic, Sam Sachs has a quotation in here. So everyone out there who's a complete, obviously on Booktube, everyone, Sam Sachs is the critic that you'd want to be a blurbing your book. Actually, I learned about this from the Empress of Booktube, Shawn the Book Maniac, really talked up this book a while ago, and that's why I actually picked it up, not because of Sam Sachs having a quote in there. Though that's a big thing. That's a big thing on Booktube. I can't think of anybody else whose name I would see in a book that I would just like, oh my god, I have to pick that up right now if they like it. Yeah, it's it's set in Chechnya. where an 8-year-old Hava watches as her father is taken away by Russian soldiers and her house is burned down. I really like the narrator in here. It's very much omniscient narrator. There's at one point where just like tiny little minor characters, like one of the Russian soldiers who's drunk, who's apparently, when he was getting kind of conscripted, his grandfather said, like, well, when he was in Stalingrad, it was only what the numbing grace of vodka that basically allowed him to survive the siege of Stalingrad. So he drinks accordingly, because he thinks Chechnya must be fucking way worse than Stalingrad. And the other one was Hava. Hava pulls on a sweatshirt, and the narrator notes, this sweatshirt, which came from Manchester, England, and had graced the shoulders of five brothers until the sixth brother, 6-year-old, donated it to the local Red Cross, so that his mother, very staunchly, philanthropically, donated to the Red Cross, so his mother would actually be forced to buy him a new sweatshirt. So just tiny little asides, which definitely kind of give a spark to the book, and maybe give that kind of a contrast that if everything is so unrelentingly grim, you wouldn't get. I think that I like books that have these little sparks, these little things that are almost humorous or sarcastic, because they can highlight the dark stuff even more. So I'm very, very briefly into that, but I'm really enjoying it. Okay. And in completely other stuff is stuff that you find in the back of books. Number one, that I picked this up in Portland at Powell's Books, Burnside Powell's Books. So you know exactly which Powell's Books. You bought it in probably 2018 by now. This last time I was in Portland. But in the very back of the book, I'm going to cover them carefully, is it says Chona, and then it's got a couple of phone numbers. And it was one of these things that you kind of look at and go, what's that about? And I looked up Chona. Chona could be a river in the Sakha Republic of Russia, though I have a feeling it might have more to do with the fact that Chona there's, I guess in the Urban Dictionary says Mexican. It's a married woman who likes to drink and dance and party. And indeed, I'll put a link or somewhere around here or something like that. There's a song, La Chona, which I found on YouTube, which actually translates the lyrics for somebody who only speaks bad English, not even good English, but that's about it. There's a song that goes along with it, and these numbers are indeed they've got 310 area codes, so they're California. So there's a married woman who likes to party in California, who I'm assuming these are her phone numbers, but I won't share those obviously on the internet. But I thought that was kind of funny to have the thing. So yeah, that's my Sunday reads, and yes, I don't like to drink. I don't really like to party. Dancing's okay. I can really embarrass myself on the dance floor. So yeah, that's what's up with me this week. Other than I have a watch. It's not going to do it probably. Samsung Galaxy Watch, which is a 3-year-old phone. It's not phone, 3-year-old smartwatch, which I bought fairly inexpensively. Well, semi-inexpensively as those things go on the internet. It's my new toy, which I'm enjoying. And then there's Theo. We've got Theo, who's been doing all the squeaking, and this is Theo's pony, Penny Pony. Yes. Okay. Well, this is embarrassing. Your toy is way more practical than my toy. Though you sleep with your toy and I sleep with mine because it's got sleep tracking. All right. I'm going to leave it there. All right. More videos later.